Hi, Bother Brigade. Here's what's bothering me today. So, there's a declaration making its way around the internet, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The declaration in question is the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights. And, on the surface, right, you'd think, okay, probably fine, considering the tagline there says, the Declaration reaffirms women and girls' sex-based rights and challenges the discrimination we experience from the replacement of the category of sex with that of gender identity. Uh-oh, here we go. It starts off, you're thinking, oh yeah, I support women, and then it ends with, we're gonna get into the turf shit again. So this declaration, which has been signed off on by a number of terrible people and organizations, basically just it's really horrible stuff, like frick, all the trigger warnings like misgendering, sexual assault mentions, like it's just bad. So proceed with caution. I first heard about what this contains thanks to a Twitter account called Katie's Cartoons. The WHRC Declaration is so extreme that often when I tell people what it says, they just don't believe it. Here is a summary of the worst bits with the paragraph number so you can just look it up. So, like I said, proceed with caution. Here's what the Declaration is actually calling for. Ban all trans women and girls from all women's spaces, including toilets, changing rooms, etc. Ban all internationally recommended healthcare for trans children under 18. Ban organizations that recognize gender identity from influencing healthcare for trans children at all. Legally protect deliberate misgendering. Ban trans women from being recognized as mothers and trans men from being recognized as fathers legally. Ban scientific research towards trans women getting pregnant. Ban all trans women and girls from all measures in place to combat the misogyny they face. Ban all trans women and girls from all women's and girls' sports at every level of competition. Ban all trans women from women's prisons. Require all crime statistics to record trans women and girls as male, even when they're the victims of misogynistic hate crime. Legally protect abusive parents who wish to block trans kids from accessing any help at all, including both medical and non-medical. So yeah, that is just like a fucking mountain of yikes right there. It is basically calling for the just either the outright eradication of trans people, but also their total exclusion and full endangerment within society. This is easily one of the most horrifying and messed up things I've ever read in some time. And that's impressive considering this is the Bothered Boy channel. We have fun here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like, Jesus Christ, this is horrifying. All of these, which again, in the margins there, you can see the paragraph they are in. 8B, 9A, 9E, 4D, 2B, 3C, etc., etc. It is really scary. Trans men and trans women, just trans people in general, are not your enemy. They don't take away from, as this declaration is trying to claim, women's sex-based rights. Trans people face discrimination as well. You should be on side with fighting alongside them against that discrimination and oppression. Also, as people have said ad nauseum at this point, sex does not equal gender. This is all absolutely ridiculous. And yet, there's some really frighteningly big names and organizations behind this declaration that is basically, let's call it what it is. This is a declaration of war against trans people. It seeks to either have them eliminated or, at the very least, excluded from society, or at worst, oh, fine, if you want to be in society, you are going to be at incredible risk. All because gender-critical people and TERFs are scared. It is absolutely horrifying and just incredibly frightening and disheartening to see this, especially in 2021, right? And my sympathies for all my trans friends and comrades out there. This is just horrifying. And I can never fully understand what it's like to be a trans person and experience those struggles. But if I take what these people are calling for, ban all trans men and women and replace it with ban all Latinos, all minorities, all BIPOC, etc. This is so frightening and messed up. So you absolutely have, in that aspect, my understanding, and just, it is so horrifying and sick and disgusting. And yet these people think that they're doing good when really they're just running around like scared animals. But they've gone mask off and shown us that this is what they want. This is what they believe. And again, folks, replace some of those words with enter target minority or religion in here. And if that seems really messed up, that's because it is. And that makes you way better than any GC or TERF. But the fact that this document exists and has a ton of signatories, including some very big names and organizations in 2021, when trans people are still all over the world, still fighting for the right to basic human decency, that is absolutely what's bothering me today.